Alrighty guys, Clocksher 42, scale model Alberta. AFV Club Churchill Mark III. Going to do this one in probably Russian colors, I think. Picked this up at an estate sale for literally, well, not literally nothing, but virtually nothing. A really good price. And yeah, let's see if I can actually do a full build video on this. If you guys have been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I just suck at build videos. I'll get going and then I'll shut the camera off, and the next thing you know the model's done. Like, oh, yeah, I got the suspension done. Sorry guys. Let's see if we can actually do one. Okay, so we got lots of parts. Really nice. I haven't built an AFV Club model in ages and ages and ages. So lots of parts. Nice instruction breakdown. Fairly detailed running gear, which is typical for the Churchill. Lots of fiddly bits, which I'm not really a great fan of fiddly bits, but fiddly bits and me do not get along very well. So what I'm going to try and do here, guys, is at the end of every one of these breakdowns, so we've got 1 and 2, so basically at the end of every 1 and 2 I'm going to show you what I've got and where I'm at. Great big heavy oh, there goes another one. I'm losing parts left and right here tonight. Okay, we got these all. They are workable springs. A lot to one of these Churchill suspensions. I haven't built one of these since probably back in the 80s with Tamiya's ones. A lot of fiddly business. Okay, these are a real challenge. At least the mounting points for the road wheels are nice and small, so they pop right off. So then what you need to do is you line up the spring, which is right here, lines up with the trailing arm, which is right there. You slide your road wheel shaft in there. Like I say, this is their real see you next Tuesday to put together. There. And then we put the outer road wheel on there. So you do have a functioning road wheel, which is really cool. But boy, they are a fiddly mofo to put together, I tell you boys. A fiddly mofo to put together. As you can see on the directions here, they have you building each one of these and then putting them on. On the next run, I'm going to try mounting the outer one actually right onto here and then building them in situ versus putting them on and then rolling them in. Now on these trailing arms, they tell you to put in the spacers and then try and float the trailing arms on top and then put it all together, but that's virtually impossible. So you need to actually put D1 and 2 together, glue them all up, get them nice and snug, use a quick drying glue, and then just go ahead and put the trailing arms in, give it a tiny little tug and it all falls apart and you just pop her back together. But that's the only way I could get these mother tuckers in, and then you just re-glue and carry on. Okay, we've got the drive sprocket on, road wheels are all on, back plates all on. These are nice big heavy duty drive sprockets with nice big locating pins. The attachment points are nice and tiny. They clean right off, so you have a really nice sharp point in your drive sprockets. This is a really nice kit. Really a nice kit. The road wheels were really fiddly. The first one I built, I had a lot of trouble with them. Second one, much easier. And as you can see, the springs do work quite well. So you can have a really nice. Now I was going to do this Russian, but I see they have Calgary Regiment markings. So I don't know exactly which one I'm going to do. I had originally purchased it to be Russian, but since it has Calgary markings on, I'm going to have to ponder this. Okay, a couple of little notes here on this track holder back here. Now logically you would think that the holder would go right up inside, but it doesn't. There's a pin that goes across here and it rests on that holder. So there is space in between there, that is correct. And then this other one just kind of floats in there. There would be another pin in real life there holding it in. This track material is weird. Super glue won't glue it. None of my hot glues will touch it. None of my, when I say hot glues, I mean very hot, fast-acting styrene cement. It doesn't touch it. Super glue won't touch it, so I don't know how I'm going to attach it. And it's about almost a full length too short. So I'm thinking what we'll probably have to do is get it on there and pin it with just a piece of wire. And I think that's the only way it's going to work. So keep that in mind, guys. Okay, here's a quick tip, guys. The sprue letters are really tough to see on this one. So I've just taken some masking tape, some painter's tape, and labeled all the sprues A, as you can see here, A, B, etc. Just makes for a lot easier, because you know, in some of these friggin' assemblies you'll be going through 3 or 4 different sprues in one assembly. So quick little tip. Proceeding along in the hull, we've got the upper plate on. The hull plates are actually a little too wide, so we had to add in a little bit of plastic in there, and I used a 0.3 millimeter strip from plastic strip, and also along the sides and the front of the hull. They just don't quite line up. If I were to do this kit again, I would jump right to the middle of the instructions, leave off all the running gear, and actually build the box of the subframe, the hull, all together without anything else on it. That should be where AFV is getting you started, is actually building the hull first, not the suspension, not anything else. Build the hull first, guys, and you'll have a lot better luck, a lot more luck than I have had with this, getting this thing together. But it's not great. It's not Tamiya. It's not Dragon. It's AFV Club. That's not good or bad. It's just a little different. Like I said, I think this is my first AFV Club that I built in years. But we're coming along. Okay, so we got a little bit of track issues here, guys. I don't know what AFV Club used for their tracks. They're nicely detailed. They're soft. They're a nice track, but you can't glue them. Super glue doesn't stick to them. I've washed them, I've degreased them, I've done everything I can to them. Super glue won't adhere. None of my bench glues will adhere. Nothing will hold these friggin' tracks together. There's no pins so that you can actually heat up and melt like the old school Tamiya. So what I've done is that I've mounted the tracks. I drilled a hole, chunk. I used some florist wire, put it down in, left long enough, and folded it over and made a U shape, basically my own homemade staple, right through the plastic, right through the top of the sponsons here. Knocked that right down. You can't see it from the outside, and once we get the cover on, but it holds the track nice and tight. You can still, your suspension still works, and it will hold this nice and snug. So that's what you're gonna have to do, guys. If somebody else has built this kit and found something that works, let me know. I'm curious to know. The fit of these fenders is, in a word, lousy. Lots of work, lots of tweaking, lots of fiddling, lots of expletives. In fact, it was so bad, this side I just put the middle piece in to hide the staple on the track, and that was it. No more. Nope. I am not going to put myself through that. Not worth it. These little, I think they must be air intakes, air filters on the side. Just brutal. They're a horrible fit. Just bad instructions, poor engineering, and not great fit. I'm not going to berate the point. I'm not enjoying this build right now. So, you know, if you loved this kit and you built it and you thought it was awesome, good for you. I'm happy. but it certainly isn't a model that I would either recommend at this point or say I would build another one. That's usually how I look at it. Would I build another one of these? You know, I built what, 3 Tiger 1 Tamiya's, a couple of 3 Dragon Tiger 2s. You know, there are definitely kits that you're like, you have your moments, but this is just one of those moments from the time you start to the time you finish. Hey guys, Churchill Mark III from AFV Club is complete. I'm glad. Was not one of my more enjoyable builds. It was aggravating. It was one of those kits that would seem so simple, but it fought you at every turn. The parts, the engineering, the layout, the construction sequence, not very well thought out. I think I said it earlier that the instructions are poor. They're not dragon poor, but they're not great. They're middle into average. I guess you would call this kit damnation with faint praise. I've just got nothing good to say about it, but it's not really that horrible. It does have working suspension if need be, but it's a super fiddly and rather difficult to build. The engineering of the hull, the multi-piece hull, does leave some problems at the end. The fenders were not that great. The tracks would absolutely not respond to any type of glue. I ended up just drilling holes in the fenders and stapling them with florist wire because they wouldn't glue, they wouldn't do anything. So that's the staples right underneath there. I think we covered that earlier. It's detailed. It's reasonably detailed. The detail's not super hard. It's a little soft. The plastic is wonky. The plastic does not respond very well to some glues, and it over responds to other glues, meaning that it gets really gooey really quick. So it's just a mixed bag of kits. Photo etch is okay. The barrel is nice. You get a one-piece aluminum turn barrel, which is really nice to have. There is photo etch. The tracks are detailed. It has working suspension, so there's a lot going for it. But it's just all in the it falls apart in the directions and the fit and engineering of the fenders and the hull. If you knew that going in, the build log that I have on here kind of goes through it and shows where you need to change things and what you need to do differently to actually keep this from being an incredibly aggravating build. But it is a Churchill Mark III. It is more detailed than the old Tamiya offering. So there you have it. If you have to have a Mark III, get it on sale, guys. Get it on sale. Don't pay full retail for this one. It's not worth anything more than, honestly, $35, $40 Canadian. What does that work out to American? I don't know, 12, 15 cents or something. I'm not sure. But it's not quite that bad. But no, get this one on sale. Find this one on a discount before you get it. This one's going to go into Russian service. I was going to put it into the Calgary division, but they didn't really see any action in this, so it's going to go Russia, and we'll get her painted up and get her there done eventually. So anyway, there guys, build the Churchill Mark III from AFV Club. What would I going to give it out of 5? Okay, I'm going to give it a 2.5. But the big thing is, would you build this kit again? And the answer is probably not, unless someone said, hey, here's a kit, build it. Okay. But no, I wouldn't spend my hard-earned money on this kit again. And if I did, I'd certainly build that hull complete before I added anything to it. Alright, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this finds everyone well. I really appreciate my subscribers. We're pushing hard to get to that 3,000 subscriber mark, guys. Thanks for your support. Take care later.